Welcome back, students, and this is your assignment number 8. And in this assignment I'm going to teach you about the seed and germination and the types of germination. So here we start. Now first we start with the seed. You all have seen the seeds, you all have eaten the fruits, and inside the fruits you might have seen the seeds also. So what is seed? This we study now. The seed is the fertilized ovules and ovary contained to remain receiving the food from the main plant. Now when I am explaining you the flower chapter, in that I have shown you the ovules and the ovary. Now these fertilized ovules and ovary, they continue to remain and receive food from the main plant, and they gradually develop into the seeds and the fruit. Now this ovules and ovary, when they receive the food from the main plant, they develop into seed and the fruit. Now inside a fertilized ovule, the zygote divides and grows into the embryo of the seed. The integuments of the ovule, integuments means, children, the tough protective layer, and it covers the plant. So this integument means that it is a tough protective layer of plant. The integuments of the ovule, they thicken and harden to form seed coat, and the seed coat is also known as testa. You might have seen the seed of mango. That mango seed is covered with a hard protective covering, and that hard protective covering is known as testa. Now here I show you the diagram of the seed showing the embryo plant. In this diagram you can easily see the testa. Now this testa is known as the seed coat, and it is the hard protective layer. It protects the seed from damage. Now inside this seed coat, the seed is there, and the seed coat, this testa, protects the seed from being damaged. Now the next thing is cotyledon. Cotyledon is this swollen part which stored the starch in it, and it stored the food for the plant, for the embryo. Next is plumule. Plumule is new shoot. Then radicule. Radicule is new root. Then hilum. Hilum is point where the seed is attached to the ovary wall. This point from where the seed is attached to the ovary wall, this point is known as hilum. Now together plumule and radicule, they make the embryo plant. So this is the diagram of the seed showing the embryo plant. So you have to learn this diagram. Now food may be stored in persistent angiosperm. Persistent means that they stays for a long time. They stays there for a very long time. The food may be stored in the angiosperms or in the cotyledon, and a thick fleshy wing-like structure called the cotyledon. Now they stores the food for the plant. Now seeds are classified into two types. First is monocot seed, and the other one is dicot seed. Now first I wanted to show you the diagram of cotyledon. So this is the diagram of cotyledons. In this you can easily see the plumule, and plumule is the new shoot, a new plant, and this part in the diagram is known as the radicule. Radicule is the new root, and these are the fleshy cotyledons. They store the food for the plant. As I told you that seeds are classified into two types. First is monocot seed, and the second one is dicot seed. So monocot seed is the seeds having one cotyledon only are called monocot seeds. For example, you can see rice, wheat, maize, sugarcane, banana, onion, bamboo, grass, and palm. These are the example of monocot seeds. So the seeds which have only one cotyledon is known as monocot seeds. Now we see the dicot seeds. The seeds having the two cotyledons, for example, gram, bean, peas, groundnut, pulses, sunflower, apple, potato, banyan, papaya, mustard, and China rose. So these are the examples of dicot seeds. Now the seeds which have one cotyledon is known as monocot seed, and the seed which have two cotyledons are known as dicot seed. Now this is all about the seed. Now we see the diagrams of monocot seed and dicot seed. Here you can see the diagram of dicot seed as well as monocot seed. In the dicot seed diagram also you can see that there is a hard covering which is known as testa. Then you can see this hard covering is known as testa. Then plumule is the new shoot, and the radicule is the new root. Here you can see the root as well as this is the shoot in the dicot seed, and this whole swollen part is known as cotyledon, and the function of cotyledon is that it stores the food for the new plant. So this is the diagram of dicot seed. Now we see the monocot seed diagram. In this is this part is known as soft endosperm. Then the hard endosperm is there. Then scutellum is there, and scutellum is that part of cotyledon in which it is the modified cotyledon part in the embryo of a seed. Then we can see the plumule. Plumule is again the new shoot, and the radicule, it is the new root. So this is the diagram of monocot seed. And endosperms, it contains it stores the food. Its function is that it stores the food for the new plant. So these are the diagrams of monocot seed and as well as dicot seed. So you have to draw this diagram in your copies, and this diagram is important also. Now we see what is germination. The initial stages in the growth of a seed to form a seedling is known as germination. So the initial stages, the early stages in the growth of a seed that form a seedling is known as germination. Now the conditions which are suitable for germination are: first, the presence of adequate moisture, means the seed which is able to germinate, they require adequate amount of moisture. Second point is the presence of air or oxygen. If there is no air, if there is no oxygen, the new plant, the seed does not able to survive. So for the survival of the new plant, for the germination of the new plant, this is very necessary that it gets the proper amount of air or oxygen. Third point is a suitable temperature, means for the germination of a seed, suitable temperature is very necessary. Fourth point is the presence of sunlight. It requires the sunlight, it requires the light also, so that the plant can able to grow fast. Now during germination process, the embryonic shoot, plumule, and embryonic root, radicule emerge and grow upwards and downwards to form shoot and root respectively. Now during the germination process, what happens is that the shoot and the root, they grow upward and downward. Now the shoot, they grow in the upward direction, and the root, it grows in the downward direction, and in this way they will form the shoot of the plant as well as the root of the plant respectively. Now food reserves for germination comes from cotyledons or endosperm tissue within the seed. As I told you that the cotyledons, they reserve the food, they store the food for the new plant. So for the process of germination, the food, they get the food from these cotyledons or endosperms only. Now we see the types of germination. Now there are two types of germination. One is apical germination, and the other one is hypogyl germination. Now first we see what is apigyl germination. Now the type of germination in which the cotyledons come out of the soil. In this apical germination, the cotyledons, it comes out from the soil. You can see in the diagram that the cotyledons, they come out from the soil. So this type of germination is known as apical germination, and it is generally found in dicot seeds like castor, cotton, beans, tamarind and gourd. So these are the examples in which this apical germination takes place. Now we see the hypogyl germination, the type of germination in which the cotyledons remain below the soil. So in this type of germination, the cotyledon remains below the soil. You can see the diagram in this. The cotyledon is there inside the soil. It is present, it remains inside the soil. Now this type of germination is seen both in monocot and in dicot seeds. This hypogyl germination takes place in monocot as well as in dicot seeds. Now you can see that the examples in which this hypogyl germination takes place are the seeds of gram, pea, groundnut, radish, mustard, maize, mango, rice. All these, they undergo the hypogyl germination. So with this, we have finished with our this assignment, and soon I upload the next assignment for you all. Thank you.